In stillness, there is power. In silence, there is wisdom. And in this second, there is truth. Watch carefully. The body can be tranquil, while the mind runs like a mad horse. Or the mind can be calm, while the body retains unlimited potential for explosive force. This is the first secret of genuine mastery. Many come to me seeking the path of the dragon, expecting to obtain devastating methods and lightning strikes. But what I show you now, this beautiful stillness, this is where true power begins. See how the energy flows when mind and body connect. This is not meditation for serenity. This is meditation for power. The kind of power that turns thought into action, intention into actuality, mind into matter. Now, my friend, are you ready to learn what lies beyond physical training? Are you prepared to discover why the greatest conflict you will ever face begins in the mind? Let me share you a story from my own journey. When I was young in Hong Kong, I thought I understood martial arts. I was quick, obviously, strong, definitely. I could punch, I could kick, and I believed that was enough. I was like so many others strapped in the prison of physical training. Then followed a brawl that changed everything. My opponent was slower than me, physically weaker than me. By all measures of the body, I should have won easily. But he did something I didn't expect. He illustrated the distinction between my physical ability and my mental mastery. He wasn't fighting with only his physique. He was fighting with amazing clarity of thought. This was my awakening. I knew that for years, I had been developing my physical weapon, but neglecting the warrior who wields it like a blade, polished to perfection, but handled by an inexperienced hand. This is the great mistake in martial arts, that physical mastery alone leads to true power. The truth, the body is merely a bridge between intellect and action. Without mental command, even the strongest body is like a powerful car with no driver. This is why today I will teach you the 3 notions that altered my understanding of what true martial arts mastery comprises. Look at this teacup before you. Simple, ordinary, yet it holds one of the most deep secrets of mental mastery. Take a moment. Imagine this cup is already packed to the brim with tea. Now tell me, can you add any more? Can you pour fresh tea into a cup that's already full? Of course not. And this, my friend, is exactly how most minds start martial arts already full. Full with preconceptions, full of strict notions, full of what they think they know. Watch attentively now while I pour this tea. Observe how it can only pour into an empty cup. See how the cup absorbs the tea without struggle, without judgment, without straining to be anything other than what it is, empty and ready. This is your first lesson in mental mastery. Your thinking must become like this empty cup. But understand me, clearly empty does not mean vacant. Empty means ready. Empty means potential. Empty means free from the burden of beliefs that limit your growth. When you face an opponent, is your cup full of what you predict will happen, full of your planned responses, full with your fears and expectations? Then you have already lost. But when your mind is empty, you become like waterable, to adapt, to flow, to become whatever the situation requires. This is not philosophy for the sake of philosophy. This is practical combat advice. When your mind is fully empty, you perceive the attack as it is not as you imagine it to be. You respond with pure instinct, unhindered by fear or hesitancy. This is the power of the empty mind. Now, let me show you the difference between a stiff mind and an empty mind in action. Most practitioners approach warfare like this. They have a memorized set of replies. If the opponent throws a punch, they block this way. If the opponent kicks, they respond that way. This is the rigid mentality at work. It's like attempting to battle while carrying a tremendous burden. Stand up with me now. Make a fist. Hold it tight as you can. Feel the stress creeping up your arm, into your shoulder, your neck. This stiffness, this rigidity, this is your mind when it's loaded with preconception. Now slowly open your hand. Let the stress flow away like water. Feel the difference. This is your empty mind, relaxed, ready, responsive. This is where most practitioners make their gravest mistake. They rehearse tactics until they become inflexible routines, claiming that memorization equals mastery. But genuine mastery comes when you can ignore the technique and simply respond. Try this basic exercise. Hold your hand out, palm up. Now, without thinking about how to catch it, without preparing your muscles, have someone drop a small object into your palm. Your hand will catch it naturally, effortlessly. This is your empty mind at work. No thought, just pure response. This is what we want to achieve in combat. When your thinking is inflexible, you see only what you expect to see. When your mind is empty, you see everything as it truly is. A stiff thinking is like frozen. Water hard but delicate. An empty mind is like flowing water, soft yet unstoppable. This is not simple theory. This is the cornerstone of anything I shall teach you about battle effectiveness. Now that your mind is empty, we must know what fills that gap. This is when mental clarity becomes crucial. Think of your empty mind as a pool of water. When the water is agitated, obstructed, you cannot see through it. But when it gets motionless, it portrays reality wonderfully. Let me demonstrate this concept by a simple punch. Watch first as I throw this punch with a clouded head. Thoughts of power, speed, technique, all competing for attention. See how the movement becomes hard, aggressive, unnatural. This is how most people battle, their minds filled with contradictory thoughts. Now watch the identical punch thrown with stunning clarity. No concepts of technique, no expectations, no mental noise, just pure intention flowing into action. See the difference. Feel the difference. This is what happens when mental clarity leads your movement. Water teaches us this principle perfectly. When it's foggy, unsettled, it has no power. But when it's clear, calm, it can cut through stone. Your thoughts must become like clean water, reflecting everything, distorting nothing. Only then can you notice your opponent's movements without the filter of your own thoughts, without the distortion of your own expectation. This clarity is what transforms an empty mind from a vessel of potential into a weapon of devastating effectiveness. When your mind is both empty and clear, you don't think about responding, you simply respond. You don't prepare your moves, they occur intuitively, ideally suited to the occasion. Let me share with you the 3 steps I learned to create this mental clarity. This is not theory. You will practice each step with me now, and you will feel the difference immediately. First step, observing without judgment. Right now, become attentive of your breathing. Don't try to change it. Don't classify anything as positive or negative. Simply observe. This is the cornerstone of mental clarity, pure awareness without the clamor of judgment. Second step, single point focus. Make a fist. Focus all your concentration on the center of your palm. Feel the energy gathering there. When thoughts develop, and they will, let them pass like clouds, retaining your mind fixed on that single location. This is how you break through mental noise. Third step, instant application. Now this is crucial. Without caring about technique, without preparing your action, let your fist spring out from that point of focus. Feel how different this is from your regular punch. This is clarity in action. Try it with me now. Empty your mind like we learn. Choose your place of attention. Let everything else fall away. Now move. See how your body responds with perfect clarity when the mind is not cluttering the action with thought. This is the essence of mental clarity in battle. No gap between intention and action. No lag between seeing and responding. The clear mind is like a mirror. It shows you exactly what is, not what you assume should be. In fight, this split second of pure clarity is often the difference between victory and loss. Practice these 3 steps until they become one fluid motion. Observe, focus, act. Do this not just in training, but in every moment. Strolling down the street, eating your food, having a conversation. This is how mental clarity becomes not just a skill, but a way of being. Now we get at the third and most important point. Your mind is vacant. Your thoughts are clear. But there is one more factor that can shatter this flawless state in an instant. Emotion. Think about what we have built. The empty mind creates space for opportunity. Mental clarity helps you to see reality as it is. But what happens when wrath rushes that vacant space? When fear clouds that clear vision? This is where most martial artists fail, not due of lack of expertise, but because of emotional volatility. Let me show you a fact regarding emotion in fighting. When you confront an opponent who has enraged you, your skills become stiff, forceful, predictable. Your blank imagination fills with ideas of revenge. Your mental clarity becomes muddled with the temptation to hurt. Watch my movement when I exhibit with fury. See how the power diminishes even as the effort increases. Now witness the similar procedure performed with emotional control. No anger, no fear, no appetite for revenge, just pure controlled response. This is the differentiation that emotional mastery generates. I remember a fight where my opponent tried to excite me with insults, with disdain. He wanted my empty thoughts to overflow with fury, my clear eyesight to darken with rage. Many combatants would have fallen into this trap, but because I had understood this third concept, his remarks were like wind against a mountain. When we battled, I stayed empty, clear, and emotionally controlled. The result was inevitable. This is the logical evolution of our effort. An empty mind generates the space. Mental clarity infuses the place with pure consciousness. And emotional control shields that area from being bombarded with destructive forces. These three factors operate together, each supporting the other, establishing a scenario of perfect battle preparedness. Let me share with you a technique I apply for immediate emotional centering. When emotions surge, whether fear, fury, or excitement, focus on the midway area between your eyebrows. Feel the tension there. Now, when you exhale, allow that tension flow down through your body into the earth. This is not meditation, this is fight preparation. The difference is instantaneous and profound. Without emotional control, a punch becomes a reckless swing, propelled by rage. With emotional control, the identical punch becomes an expression of pure intention. Watch carefully. First, the fist thrown with emotional stress. See how it exposes its objective before it even begins. Now, the same punch thrown with absolute emotional control. No telegraph, no wasted energy, no emotional spilling. This is where the three principles come together. Principles blend into one seamless reality. The empty mind creates space for clarity. Clarity allows you to see without distortion. Emotional control preserves this optimal state even under strain. Try it now. Empty your mind as we learned. Maintain your clarity of purpose and add this emotional centering. Feel how your entire body becomes like a coiled spring, ready but calm. In war, this integration is not a luxury, it is a need. When your opponent hits with wrath, your empty mind senses it coming. Your mental clarity reads the underlying motive behind the movement. Your emotional control keeps you balanced, responding with accuracy rather than reactivity. This is how these theories work together to achieve amazing fighting effectiveness. Remember, emotional control is not about repressing emotions. It's about keeping them from dominating your conduct. Like water flowing around a rock, you acknowledge the emotion, but don't allow it disturb your surface. This is the condition of being that makes all your physical strategies exponentially more potent. Now, I will illustrate you these three ideas working together as one. Watch intently, for in this demonstration lies the essence of everything we've discussed. First, witness the complete movement at full speed, a simple combination: jab, cross, hook. But inside this simplicity lurks enormous intricacy. Watch again, this time seeing beyond the physical movement. Let me break this down progressively, showing you how each concept plays its part. The empty mind offers the base. Before movement begins, there is no thought of technique, no anticipation, no mental preparation. Like the surface of uninterrupted water, the mind simply is. This void provides for pure potential. Now add mental clarity. See how each movement emerges, not from thought, but from pure awareness. The jab doesn't stem from a strategy, it simply manifests. The cross follows, not because it's memorized, but because it's the natural expression of the moment. The hook completes the sequence, see not as a technique, but as a natural flow of energy. Finally, observe emotional control in action. No tension before movement, no frustration during execution, no satisfaction after finishing, just pure expression of purpose. This is what makes the combo unstoppable. It transmits no emotional message, no psychological signal for an opponent to read. Now watch again at full speed. See how these ideas mix into one seamless reality. Empty mind allows the movement to begin without hesitation. Mental clarity directs each hit to its aim without distraction. Emotional control preserves the proper state from start to end. In slow motion now, note how each movement transforms from nothing into becoming. There is no planning, no gathering of force. Like water going downhill, each hit follows its natural path. This is what becomes possible when mind and body completely connect. This is not merely about throwing 3 punches. This is about studying how these concepts transform every facet of your martial art. Whether you're throwing a single strike or battling in lengthy combat, these notions remain constant, unchangeable, ever present. Let me explain with you how to integrate these principles into your daily life. For mastery is not created in times of practice alone, but in how you live each instant of each day. Begin your morning before the sun rises. This is when your mind is most vulnerable, most capable of emptying. Sit in quiet for merely 5 minutes. Don't fight your thoughts, observe them. Let them pass like clouds in the sky. This develops your foundation of empty mind. As you move through your day, cultivate mental clarity in all you do. When you eat, eat with whole consciousness. When you walk, walk with entire presence. When you converse, offer absolute attention. Each action becomes an opportunity for mastery. Simple things become your training ground. When you pour water, pour it with tremendous focus. When you open a door, do it with complete awareness. When you write, let each stroke flow from clarity of mind. These are not dull things, they are opportunities to create your mental strength. In periods of stress, exercise emotional control. Whether in traffic, at work, or in conversation, each challenge becomes your chance to maintain centeredness. Don't disregard emotional triggers, use them as training tools to strengthen your control. End your day with reflection. Review your activities, not with judgment, but with awareness. Where did you maintain vacant mind? When did your clarity falter? How did you overcome emotional challenges? This thought sharpens your practice for the next day. Remember, genuine mastery is not measured in the training hall, but in how you exemplify these ideals every moment of your day. Your life becomes your practice becomes your life. This is the road of constant development. Watch now in quiet as these ideas become one. You see, the route we began with a simple query about the mind has led us to this moment of total oneness. What you just witnessed was not a display of physical technique. It was the embodiment of an empty mind flowing into action. Mental clarity gives birth to superb movement. Emotional control maintaining the purity of expression. Remember how we started seeking the true source of power in martial arts. Now you understand that the biggest battle, the most significant victory, lay not in mastering your opponent, but in mastering your thoughts. The physical techniques you acquire will alter. The forms you practice will evolve. But these principles, empty mind, mental clarity, and emotional control, these are ageless. They are the foundation upon which all outstanding martial arts expertise is created. When you leave here today, remember this. The ultimate fight is not the one you face in fighting. It is the ongoing discipline of releasing your mind of limits, cleansing your view of distortions, and retaining control over your emotional storms. Master these, and you master not only martial arts, but life itself. Be water, my friend.